All right, there we go. Hey everyone, I hope you guys are all having a great day here. I can't believe it's all the way to Wednesday here. Of course, there was a lot of news that broke today. I already made a few videos about it, and if you guys want the in-detailed stuff, you guys can go check them out there. But today I'm going to give you guys a brief overview of what happened in the market today as far as the Fed, Trump getting mad, more tariffs being placed, a new trade deal being implemented, and a lot of drama, a lot of economic data coming out. There was so much stuff happening today, but I think generally speaking, a lot of it will lead to the market going higher over time. It might not be today, tomorrow type of stuff, but I do think week over week, we still are going to be in a good spot here, despite the Fed not cutting rates and all that good stuff, okay? So before we get started, as always, and hey GT, gonna give Loki a treat if he sees it. He might see it. He's coming up. Oh. Look into the camera. Good boy. Yum. All right. So first of all, let's get started with the Bitcoin technical analysis, and then we'll kind of broaden up and go more towards some of the news that happened today, because I do think the technicals leave us pretty happy, pretty excited about what can happen in the future. So as we look at the weekly chart, we've still been going higher and higher and higher, you know, breakout higher, breakout higher, breakout higher. What normally happens though is every time we've been able to break out of these Fibonacci levels, we've gone pretty much straight up for a few weeks. We might have consolidated, but eventually we have like a nice straight shot here, a straight shot right here, a straight shot right here. It's been fairly easy. This time around, it's been very choppy. We broke out here, went down here, went back up a little bit, and not the clean big boom that we're looking for. Now, obviously, if we had this big boom, we would have went straight up towards $175,000, which would have been glorious. That would have been like almost an altcoin season within itself, right? But unfortunately for us, it's not that easy right now. So Bitcoin had a pop, but it wasn't necessarily a very big pop. I would say the best thing about this so far is that we had a dip to buy into well before that happened, but this is the Liberation Day, tariffs, the Iran issues, all of that stuff coming to a head at once, leading to a big market downturn, a V-shaped recovery. So a lot of the people that made money aren't necessarily people that bought right over here, unless they went altcoins, of course. They were usually people that bought way over here back when Trump was causing pure chaos and everybody was just very scared, shitless, whatever you want to call it. They were, people were rough back then. Everybody was freaking out about what's going to happen. Of course, you know, dollar cost averaging won the day, but man, you know, there are times where you double check yourself saying, should I really be buying more right now when Bitcoin's down 15% or something like that? And I'm usually like, yeah, let's buy some more, because it usually works out. And of course it did work out this time as well. But that being said, if we zoom in a little bit more on the weekly charts here, let me go over here to the dragger. There we go. We had a pretty clean rejection here, right? Of course, we broke above it for a few days and whatnot, but on the weekly chart, clear rejection. This time we had a breakout and we went higher for a little bit more of a dip and a rip type of effect. We're still fine. We haven't really broken back down below. As far as our support level right now, I think our support level is basically the Fibonacci, which would be around 104,431. I think that'd be like an intraday low type of thing. I think we'd probably still close above 109,000 if anything really bad happened. But for now, I still expect things to be choppy, but generally leading to the higher zones, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin decides to drop back down here to $113,000, $112,000, then builds itself back up for a larger move going through September as we have the rate cuts and everybody gets more excited and all that type of stuff, right? And this is where the issue comes in down the road though, right? Because Bitcoin, typically speaking, or just speaking, right? We're still bullish on the MACD, we're still bullish on the stochastic, and we're still bullish on the RSI. There are some bearish signs, but we're still bullish as of this point in time, which I think is very, very good. And you're not seeing some type of crazy divergence happening, especially because the MACD continues to generally go up quite a bit. I'm pretty happy with it. But here's the issue. We go over here to the CME report, the probabilities. I know it's going to be hard to read, but now the next one is the 17th of September. All of a sudden, there's a 58% chance we have no cut again. And there's only a 41% chance that we have a cut in September, which means people are right now, after all this news that broke out, and we'll go into the news a little bit more, don't worry. Because of the news that broke out today, people are saying now we're not going to have a cut in September. We're actually going to have a cut in October, right? which is going to lead to a little bit more discourse, a little bit more chaos. We'll see how they vote and they do the dot plots and the beige books and all that type of stuff in the future. But for now, it seems that the Fed is slowing down even more, and this may make Trump even more upset. But I'm curious to see what Trump does when he puts in the shadow Fed, right? That shadow Fed will start to have power accumulate, and maybe we'll get some cuts around there. Before we get started really going through all the mumbo jumbo of the news rates and stuff like that, and Trump doing new trade deals, like there's a bunch of breaking news happening like as we speak. I do want to remind you guys, I put out a couple of videos today. Feel free to watch them if you guys want to, talking about my more like personal views of the Fed and what's going on there. But I started to do polls and posts again. So if you guys do see one of my polls across the screen, like the Bitcoin rally through 2025 and 2026, right? All this type of stuff, please give it an upvote or thumbs up or answer the question, whatever you guys feel like doing. Helps out the channel a lot, especially as I'm like pushing all this stuff through right now. All right, now throughout the day, right, you saw some craziness happening where my time, boom, the news came out, nothing really happened. Jerome Powell came out, that's where all hell broke loose, right? And again, all of that move, it's come right back. So for all the chaos, again, we have come straight back to where we were at the moment of the announcement by the Fed. Same time, Dow Jones hasn't come back up all the way yet. The NASDAQ hasn't come back up all the way yet. And the SPY is actually doing very, very well after hours, but that's because of some earnings that have come out. And if you guys want to see the earnings, I'll literally just go over to CNBC very fast. It's just covered. Microsoft tops 4 trillion. Meta's Reality Lab posts $4.53 billion loss. They still made money. Their stock is up a lot. You're seeing a lot of stuff happening right now, okay? So as far as what happened with the Fed today, the majority of the Fed governors said we want to keep rates steady, right? 2 said they wanted to see cuts happening right now. And those 2 were so passionate about saying, hey, we need rates to be down now. They decided to dissent from the overall group and just basically making it known to all, I disagree with what the Fed's doing. I disagree with how they're handling rates. And I think we should have cut rates this quarter or the month, right? That's all they're saying. Because of that, you are going to see Trump pretty upset by this. He's already been tweeting and kind of bad-mouthing Jerome Powell. At this point, unless he wants to fire the guy, I don't think there's really much else he can do besides maybe take jabs at his reputation. And I think that's where Trump stays silent on it, but he sends all of his lieutenants and all the people that go to talk to the media. They can go do that harsh battling it out with Jerome Powell and hit the allies of Jerome Powell in the media, right? Tomorrow we have PCE inflation coming out, and then next month we're going to have another level of CPI. We need those levels to be somewhat low, because the moment they start to go above 3%, or if they do go above 3%, let me say that, you will not see a rate cut most likely in 2025. So this is going to be crucial for us that we're watching inflation, making sure it doesn't spike too much. And when it does have to spike, that may mean a lot of our rallies may kind of get bogged down for a while. And by bogged down, that means Bitcoin, and again, this is kind of a harsh way to put it, Bitcoin in the stock market may go through a slight correction where Bitcoin goes down 20%, the stock market goes down 15-20%, and that takes 3 or 4 months to get out of, and then we're back up to all-time highs, and we're in a really beautiful 2026. But it all has to relate to what's happening with inflation, the Federal Reserve, interest rate cuts. I mean, like that whole swath of stuff. That's really what to focus on as far as like the overall United States economy, the world economy, the trade wars, and all that type of stuff, right? So overall, it was an okay day. Just because we expected all this to happen, I am happy to see that Bitcoin went down and came right back up. That means Bitcoin was like, wait a minute, we already knew this was happening. Why did everybody decide to short, right? It was just a panic move and some stop losses got hit, and that's basically it. Now, as far as everything else is concerned, Trump just announced a new trade deal with South Korea, setting tariffs at 15%. This just happened a few minutes ago, like 20 minutes ago, something like that. So I'm not going to go about it, but another trade deal done. That is good for us. More certainty definitely leads to a more prosperous economy, more prosperous market, which is something we all really want to see here. Will the South Koreans like it? I'm not entirely sure, but Trump is making all of these countries invest money into the United States of America, which I don't know if the money will ever come, but I'm hoping it does come, if that makes sense, right? I just don't know if the money's ever gonna come. In this situation, South Korea will give the United States $350 billion for investments owned and controlled by the US states and selected by myself as president. So that means Trump is gonna get $350 billion from South Korea and just say, hey, this is where I wanna see that money go to. Send some over there, send some over there. And then they have to also get a return on that investment because it is an investment. So where do they put that money? Complete chaos right now, guys, complete chaos. And hey, Water Buffalo, happy to see you. Alex, Magic, Trade, happy to see all of you guys in there right now. Yeah, it is definitely kind of a hectic day, isn't it? Now, we already talked about this for a second here, but again, I want to refresh. Microsoft tops $4 trillion in market cap after hours, joining NVIDIA, an exclusive club. The overall tech sector is doing fantastic. This is one of the reasons we were talking about, hey, as long as tech earnings remain good, it's okay if the Fed doesn't cut, because we already know the Fed doesn't want to cut. There's no surprise there, but we do know for sure that the economy is still chugging along at a decent pace, and the tech companies are keeping everything afloat. There are tons of corporations struggling out there in middle America, cities, wherever, everywhere across the country. But I tell you what, they're not the big tech companies. They can lay off people. They're still doing just fine. I mean, for heck, Microsoft tops 4 trillion. 4 trillion is absolutely insane. Now, I know inflation's gotten crazy over the years, so like 4 trillion isn't the same 4 trillion it used to be when we were growing up. But still, 4 trillion is 4 trillion, and it is very, very high. And it's not easy for a lot of companies to get there. They usually have to be massive conglomerates. They have tons of little companies underneath them. They do a bunch of other stuff, as in Microsoft does with all of its campuses and the companies it buys. It's in gaming now, you know, Xbox, all that type of stuff. Has to be massive, and I mean, that it is, right? We'll see what happens with the cloud technology, but that's pretty exciting as well. Now, as far as everything else, the futures are all up. So despite all the news we had today, up, 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 up. Oil is up, 10 years up, everything is pointing a little bit higher. And you know what? I'll take that as a win, because if that goes higher, that means Bitcoin has an opportunity to go higher itself tomorrow. And you guys know, typically, this one was a weird one here. You guys recall when Bitcoin breaks down below the moving average, it's usually really bad. But this time, it didn't actually break down below any moving averages. It's very weird. It opened up below it, but it didn't actually cross below it throughout the day. So part of me is thinking, and this is a very high risk play, but just bear along with me, because we are so close to this 20-day moving average, and we know that Bitcoin loves to have really crazy moves as it breaks above or below those moving averages. Well, if the stock market's looking pretty good today, we have really good futures coming out, we had really good earnings from yesterday, wouldn't that mean that sometime over the next few days, Bitcoin is going to see a nice pump, and that pump can theoretically break back above the 20-day moving average, leading to Bitcoin taking a big shot, right, as it tries to break out of this trend line right here, then try to do a big O shot back up here towards $120,000 to $121,000. I think that's what we're trying to do. But the hiccup is, I believe there's some news coming out this week as far as, I think Trump did some new tariffs today. Let's see. Figma. No. Here it is. Trump slaps universal 50% tariff on copper imports, metals price plunges, right? I feel like that's interesting because the price plunge instead of going up with tariffs. Normally I think it's the other way around, right? If you're making it harder for the metal to come in the country, you'd expect the prices to go higher. But I'm not a metal expert or anything like that. That's one thing. Also something that was kind of lost within the weeds a little bit ago. The Trump White House released a long promised cryptocurrency report. Now, I just saw this and I was trying to look into this before the stream started, but I really just did not have the time to dive into it. So Sorry. I've been so dehydrated lately. I need to get my water act together. But even though I wasn't able to read it, I did pull it up for us to skim very fast. And if you guys did want to see the report, just type in on Google crypto report, go over here to whitehouse.gov 3 hours ago, go down, it'll say a little bit, and then just hit this little button right here on the bottom that says digital asset report. I think you guys can barely see it the way my thing's cropped. And basically it'll pull up this. All right. So what I can do is zoom in on this very fast, if it'll let me. We can go over here to final stretch. Also, today's sponsors are BYD, Fi, Weeks, crypto exchanges. If you guys are looking for new exchanges, check them out. And then also Flux charts. If you guys are looking for an algorithm to help you guys trade that's cheap or free, depending on which one you use, I'd recommend you guys use some Flux charts. Now, this is called Strengthening American Leadership in Digital Financial Technology. All right. There's a whole bunch of components of this one. There's a whole bunch of acronyms to this one. And again, let me just maybe zoom in a little bit so you can see all the acronyms. ACH is Automated Clearinghouse. Advisors Act is Investment Advisors Act of 1940. AEC is anonymity. There you go. If I don't read it, I can say it. Anonymity. Yeah, there you go. Enhanced cryptocurrency. There's a bunch of stuff in here, okay? Big points being that this was split up in a few parts. The digital asset ecosystem, market size and trends, market participants, key regulators and oversight, market activities, digital asset market structure, a taxonomy for digital assets, banking and digital assets, stable coins and payments, countering illicit finance, taxation, and then the table of recommendations right here, which is not important because that's basically what we just read. All right. I'm looking at those acronyms, and we go down here and we look through all this stuff, and oh god, it's a lot. I think, how many pages is it? Yeah, it's 166 pages, so I can't really plug all of this into Chat GPT. I guess they put something in the code at the bottom. Yeah, so recommendations. Let me just close my eyes and stop at one random page. Share of digital asset transaction volume associated with illicit activity 2021 to 2024, right? So it got really, really bad in 2023, but it went down in 2024. That's good to see. So we're curving it down a little bit. Criminals are gonna criminal, you know, that's basically what they're saying. I don't really care about illicit finance. I mean, go after CZ and Binance if you want to focus on that type of stuff. But the way the banking networks work, the stablecoin asset partners work, the direct transactions, right? They're basically taking all of these sectors and they're moving it to two. Party A, Party B, blockchain in the middle, and that's it. Instead of all of these other types of things that are required. So they are thinking about it, which, you know, is nice. Some poor sap had to put all this together here, but I think it's pretty darn good, right? So it's just hard because you can't put all of this together into an AI and say, hey, tell me more about this. You actually have to read, or you have to go by, how would you say, tables of contents, like by chapter, basically. So if we wanted to go here to the digital asset ecosystem, we have to go to 14 and it ends at 31, right? But somehow the digital asset market starts at 42. What's happening from 31 to 42? I don't know. I mean, there's still a bunch of stuff happening right here, right? So it's so weird how they have it structured. But let's say, for example here, 14 through 31, let's just keep track of that. And there's charts, that's fine. Not too much text because a lot of it's different stuff here. Yeah, all that type of stuff. Mining and mining and staking, this is going to be a crazy different way of doing things. Okay, so let's go over here to page 27, the 31 right here. Oh, this is page 31 here, but this is 30. Oh, the different ways of pages. Okay. But 31 still doing, yeah, it's such a weird thing. Okay, whatever. Let's not draw too much into this. Let's go back up here to where I have some stuff copied. There you go, copy it. I'm gonna go over here to Chat GPT. I am looking at the White House crypto reports and want to give you a snippet to summarize and give me some key points on what they want to do and change, and if it's good for me or bad. All right, and then I mean, I put a lot of it in here, okay? I put a lot in Chat GPT. Yeah, a lot in the Chat GPT, okay? So US wants to lead crypto and Web3, want to lead, right? Damn, this says it's the Biden administration. This is the Trump administration, but that's fine. It just lags so much in certain areas, right? Retail drove early growth, but now hedge funds, VCs, and ETFs like Bitcoin spot ETF are the major players. This is pushing crypto towards being treated like a traditional asset class, as you can feel from how slow Bitcoin has been this cycle, right? Good place for long-term price action and your content. More demand will just, oh, this is talking about my YouTube channel as well. DeFi and DAOs are growing, but still under watch. Clearer definitions are coming. Tokens, protocols, exchanges. Mining versus staking, big focus. TDLR, good or bad for you, right? Long-term investor versus short-term versus content creator versus DeFi. So as a content creator, it's good. As a long-term investor, what you do is good. A short-term trader, it's mixed. And a DeFi user, the degens out there, right? NFTs, mixed, right? So that's going to be interesting. I'm not going to turn this into a YouTube script or anything like that. But again, you could take out little piecemeals of it and upload it, and then you kind of learn a little bit more about it. But honestly, guys, there's so much here. If you guys have time, look how they made the White House all crypto-like. I mean, it's pretty darn cool, but like, there's so much stuff here that I'm not going to have time to read. Maybe some of you guys will have time to read it, but that's not necessarily me. And hey, Knoxville, happy to see you, my man. Hey, Haram, happy to see you too. It's been a long day, everybody. Very, very long day, but I think time's moving by pretty fast. I'm supposed to be at the cigar lounge later on to go enjoy a friend's birthday party. I mean, won't that be fun? But I was lagging a little bit here because my microphone was giving me some issues and I plugged it all the way. And I was waiting for my hat. I got new hats. I got like 5 new little hats. They're really nice. I got this hat. I got a blue hat. And I got a red hat. And I got 2 other hats over there. So I'm getting new hats. I'm switching up my wardrobe a little bit because I've been losing some weight so I can wear my thinner clothes. Thinner, right? And then I can also just wear some hats and watches and jewelry with them that I haven't worn in a while. So I'm actually being stylish. I'm weird. It's so stylish. But yeah, so if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know, guys. I know this has been a kind of a crazy day, but I think the news generally has been good. I don't think the news necessarily has been terrible. I think the worst part of today was the fact that we're not going to really have a rate cut until at least September, but more increasingly looking like not just September, but October. And the October could hurt us too. The Fed, this particular Fed has been very late to all the parties as far as big things that have gone wrong, like inflation, the banking crisis, stuff like that. They've been very behind the curve, I guess you would say, right? The fear from a lot of people like me, it's not that Jerome Powell's some evil maniac trying to destroy the country. It's just that he's going to make another mistake again, like he's made so many times in his history as the head of the Fed and in the Fed, where I'd rather cut it safe and be like, hey, we will be fine with a 25 basis point cut, right? And then from there, we can wait even until next year if that makes you feel comfortable. But right now, we need another cut. And I just don't think he understands that, or again, it's just not his priority. It's just not his priority, which is going to be very interesting going forward. One other thing here as well, this is more of a channel update. I'm thinking of like, so I noticed that like when things, I notice when the channel's slow and people aren't commenting, I usually have nobody to kind of bounce off of. So typically, hello, do you want another treat? Yeah, okay. I notice, yeah, I noticed that I kind of die off a little bit. So I'm wondering if because I've been dying off, or the chat's been dying off about a half an hour after I streamed at 45 minutes to an hour, if once the stream dies off, I just end the stream for the day. And then I try to find a time to go live again in maybe like a few hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. So I'm doing little light streams every now and again. Maybe that one that's 15 minutes, maybe the one that's a half an hour, maybe the one that's 45 minutes, maybe one that's 3 hours if there's a big market move. Because again, look at this daily chart. It's been a freaking sideways as can be. There's nothing exciting happening about this. So I'm just like, I can't make stuff up to you guys. I don't want you guys trading on bad charts, right? So I'm wondering if I should just do more multiple little streams throughout the day and aim for one long and one around 4. But like maybe let's say I get home tonight at 12 o'clock after smoking cigars and enjoying a friend's birthday party. What if I went live for a half an hour, even 15 minutes just to talk about my thoughts, and then we just kind of just do that little, hey, how you guys doing? Here's some news that just broke. What do you guys think about it? Cool, cool, cool. All right, see you guys later on today. That type of stuff. And also doing all my videos and things like that. My main goal right now is to really get this channel pumping, and I'm starting to do it. I even have ChatGPT as a full YouTube manager right now, and it's actually helped me out. I don't know if you guys can see this here, but I might have put on another short form video afterwards. Yeah. Ah, shit. Hold on. There you go. See those little fireworks right there? This is the best video that's performed with me for a minute here, which is good. Doing a little bit better. I need to get better at this, but ChatGPT has helped me get more views, which I think overall is a good thing here. What it's teaching me is I'm not going to have my face in all the thumbnails anymore because people don't know me just yet. They don't know me. So I'm going to have Jerome Powell, Trump, anybody in there besides me. It could be Elon Musk and Trump, whoever. Could be some CNN. I don't know. But it won't be me in there. It'll be somebody else. So I have to make sure I play it right and have the right type of stuff going on. All right, so that'll be kind of fun as well. And hey, Riz, you bought some more XRP? I mean, I think XRP is a great long-term hold. I shaved some of mine off, but that's just because I've been holding it for so long. I feel like I need to take in some type of profit. That's more of me just being greedy in terms of XRP, right? Yo, Mike, what do I think of SBET and BMR? I have no idea what those tokens are, so I'll probably have to search them up. Let me see. SBET. Sports bet. Okay, sports bet token. Really high risk token, extremely high risk. If you guys wanted to hop into it, you could, but this is something where you don't put like $5 in and see where it goes. I'm not too much of a gambler, so I don't understand a lot of this stuff here. But I mean, even something like me, I guess I can become an affiliate and make money off of people gambling, which is, I guess, fun. But 5+ years in the market. They've been here for a minute. Yeah. And I'm getting no KYC. That's kind of nice to see as well. So risk-free bet up to $50 bonus. Yeah, I don't know. If you like it, you like it. As far as the chart though, I couldn't see much there on coinmarketcap.com. Let me see if I can pull it back up here. Market cap is just so tiny. It's been pumped and dumped before. That's not the best sign. That was all the way back in September to May. Somebody bought some up. You know, with the market cap so low, you know, you can really just toss in $20 and see what happens next. Not going to be too crazy there. SBET is SharpLink Gaming. Oh, they're not even #1 for their topic. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, that makes it a little bit more difficult then. SharpLink Gaming. So there's one right here. Yeah, it's not verified. Okay. 3.42 million, but it's not confirmed here. This opened up back in May. Hasn't done anything but goes sideways here. It's managed to have a small pump here or there, but it's not really a large move. It's high risk. Maybe the socials will help it out a little bit more. Only 4,500 followers. That's not really a lot. Are they posting quite a bit? 17 likes. 7 likes. Yeah, it's just a high risk token. You're not really expecting a lot. You're kind of expecting to hit the lottery when it comes to a token like that. But maybe you can. You never know how sports gambling is going to pan out, especially over the long term. $5, $10, $3 million market cap. You can put some money there. Maybe up to $50. Could be interesting. Like, you never know what you're going to buy into, right? Like today, remember we were talking about how Bitcoin can go one of two ways. It can come back down here to 116,000, but because the rest of the market's going to be green today, like the stock market, like the futures all good, you may see Bitcoin launch up here towards 119,500, which could be really good for Bitcoin. So I'm watching it, but at the same time, when it comes to all these other tokens that are high risk, like the one you just brought up, it's okay to toss money into those ones. One of my friends hit me up about a token the other day, and he's like, "Hey man, I started a new token. I'd love if you bought some." And I was just like, I don't know if it's going to turn out to be good, but I'll support him. So I put like $100 into this sucker. And I think the market cap right now is less than the 3 million that we were talking about for your token. The market cap for his is something like $30,000, $35,000. I mean, it is minuscule, right? But if it ever takes off, all made some money, but it's a $100 investment, which is pretty large for that small of a market cap, right? But for you can toss in $20, $30, $20, $10, $5, whatever that number is, and you feel comfortable with, and you just you just gotta wait for a while, because most of the people in this market, we're just kind of waiting for the altcoin season to kick off, retail to go flooding in, because what will most likely happen at this point, which is kind of weird, is institutions will most likely push Bitcoin to crazy all-time level highs. We're going to be all excited, but retailers are going to be the ones driving the altcoin season and really moving everything at a really fast clip pace, like boom, 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 up 1,000%, up 5,000%, up 10,000%. Oh my God, it's up 20,000%. That's all going to come from the retail traders going into the AI space, so not AI space, altcoin space, which I think overall is going to be fun, right? It's on the stock market. Oh, they have a crypto too? Oh, damn. I was watching you as I ate dinner last night when you signed off. Was interested in what was being said, just not engaging. Best on the channel here, just to keep doing anything. Oh, yeah, dude, I know. What do you call it? It's just hard because I bounce off of people. That's how I react. Because, I got anxiety and I got ADHD. If I read you guys' comments and go back and forth, I can hop on board, and all of a sudden, before I know it, like an hour's passed, 28 minutes have passed, 30 minutes have passed. Really makes things good. But the moment it gets quiet, I don't know how to react to it. And that's not your fault, that's my fault. I'm more of an educator, not an entertainer. But I don't know if I can really become an entertainer that gets you guys to chat. That's why I don't know. Like, a lot of people have conversations. Like, I watch Tom Crown's channel, Crypto RS channel. I'm good friends with both of them, right? Benjamin Cohen. And it looks like people are having conversations within themselves. And I wonder how many people know each other in those ecosystems and stuff like that. Just not entirely sure. But I think it'll be fine, especially if we're doing more streaming and stuff like that. If there's that good initial boost of people that show up in the beginning, boom, 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 I should be good. Like, even watching this stream right now, if I go over here, I told you guys this video is doing a little bit better than expected. If I go over here and I see... There we go. This is the analytics for the stream we're watching right now. If it ever loads up. There you go. So 169 views so far. See how the chats are kind of flat? My friends, their chats are like all over the place with a lot more messages. I got to work on doing that. But I think I'm just going to watch them and see what they're doing. But they're not necessarily doing anything. What's very interesting is a lot of times I see Tom or Crypto or us and stuff like that, they really don't talk to their audience for like the first half an hour of the show. They're just kind of going on there, what they're talking about here, what they're talking about there, different news of the day, stuff like that. So I wonder if I should just not talk to you guys for the first half an hour, have a whole bunch of stuff listed I want to talk about with you guys, list all that stuff off, and then afterwards I kind of engage with you guys and say what's up. Right? I wonder if, but that's probably the best. I'll try that method to, no, today's Thursday? No, today's Wednesday. Yeah, today's Wednesday. Yeah, so I'll try it out tomorrow. I'm not streaming Friday because I normally don't stream Fridays in the first place. It's also, we're going out for my grandmother's birthday because today's my grandmother's birthday. I'll be out with her and my grandfather and my sister coming back into town. Yeah, I'll give it a shot Thursday, tomorrow. And what I'll do is I'll say technical analysis, news 1, news 2, news 3, crypto news 1, crypto news 2, crypto news 3. Talk about any of the other type of news I want to talk about, vent about whatever I want to talk about as far as like, oh my God, I fucking hate Donald Trump putting tariffs on something, or I hate something going on right now, right? And then from there, I think we should be good. But it's very, very hard because when you don't have the comments, what you see is the views kind of go, I think you guys can still see this. Yeah, the views kind of go down over time. So I got to get that fixed. Like over the past few minutes, there's no new people watching the stream. That's because nobody's commenting. And so I got to figure out a way to game that system a little bit in order to do it, which can be very, 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 very rough. I don't think there's a way for me to do this on this one now. But yeah, so I'll figure it out. But good for us, there's an opportunity for Bitcoin to have a big rocket ship today, only because the stock market had really good earnings coming out today, and I think that's really good, right? Oh, no worries, Meme. You're good to go. You're good. It happens all the time. And hey, Bryce, happy to see you, man. So I think it's going to be a good strategy. But anyway, guys, I'm going to call it a night right now. I know the chat's already died down a little bit, but I think that's the way I'm going to try to approach it. And until I become a big, famous YouTuber, as far as crypto and stuff like that, I'm still going to talk to you guys like this and kind of give you my thoughts and everything. I know it may seem weird because technically this is a show, but I like being honest. And I like to be transparent about like what I'm thinking of and stuff like that. There'll be a point where I don't do it, like talk to you guys like this as much, but basically it'll just be for members only. And like, you know, anybody that pays like the 99 cents, whatever that fee, $1.99 or something like that, they can listen to me vent and kind of give me ideas on how to be better on my channel and stuff like that. But that's a long way away, as you guys might imagine, because crypto's towards the end of its cycle, not the end, but towards the end, right? And when crypto starts to go into that year, 2-year bearish momentum type of phase, maybe a year bearishness, where it gets bored, I have to transition into more general finance, which is more stock market, less crypto, more about the economic data coming out. Think of a Graham Stephan or Andrew Jick or Meet Kevin type of person. I got to transform into that because, as I've learned from before, people do not care about crypto when Bitcoin is not at all-time highs. That is absolutely a fact. So I'll see you guys a little bit later. Get ready for just more streams throughout the day and when I'm out and around. I may even do, I think I'm doing videos from my phone as well. Not streams from my phone, but videos from my phone. And just talking to you guys up for a little bit, saying, hey, here's my thoughts. I'm out to walk with my dog, but here's what I'm thinking of right now. Boom, 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 boom. Or hey, I'm smoking a sweaty lounge, but here's my thoughts on this subject right here. Have a quick little 5-10 minute video, upload it, then boom, we're good. I just like doing a lot of stuff here because it's already hooked to my computer, so I don't got to upload it all up because uploading videos sucks. And I like to smoke here, but I can't. I'm not supposed to be smoking that much in my house, right? So see you guys a little bit later, and I'll see you guys tomorrow after